Hi there, this is Phil Simbor, USBGF Teaching Pro, and this video is available to anybody who goes to the Facebook page. I'm giving you a sample of the kinds of videos you can see. I posted well over 100 of these. Many of them include some of the top players and teachers in the world discussing positions and strategy with me. And they are exclusive to USBGF members, and it is one of the many benefits of joining the USBGF. So if you are not a member, I would urge you to go to the website, take a look at the benefits. You'll see that the fee is you get paid back tremendously with the magazine, articles, the ability to enter and play in international tournaments with many of the best players in the world, and you can play in the lower divisions too if you like. And we have even have a blog now, and these videos several times a week, and rating system. It goes on and on. Plus the fact that you're supporting an association that really advances the game, and a good number of our members, a very large number of our members, are not U.S. citizens. They're from all over the world, but the benefits are so great they can see the advantage of joining. So there's my pitch. Now let's talk about backgammon. Here's a double two play that one of my students got wrong. It's a second roll move. Blue opened with a 4-3, brought two down, which is a perfectly reasonable and good play. And now you have a double two to play. How would you play it? There are several options. Obviously, you can make your 4-point, you can make your opponent's 5-point, you can come up to the 22, you can make the 11-point, and you can hit. All of those plays are reasonable plays, and some of those plays vary depending on the score. But let's look at this as a money game, or what I call a normal match score, which would be like a money game, 7 away or higher. What's your play? Okay, first let me show you the right play, and it's been rolled out. That's what these little doohickeys mean on Extreme Gammon. And by the way, if you join the USBGF, there's a 20% discount on Extreme Gammon, which is far and away the very best backgammon software. Not only does it give you the best answers, it gives them to you more quickly, and it has a lot of bells and whistles and features, and you can play against it. It's incredible. www.extremegammon.com, and tell them Phil sent you when you take a look, and I'll even get you set up. Okay, so what's the right play? Your default play almost always is to make the 4-point, unstacking, making a very important interboard point, and then you look around to see what to do with the other two twos. And usually you bring two down to the 11-point, but when your opponent has made his 5-point or his 4-point or even the bar point and is threatened to, in situations like this where he's clearly going to be making a good priming point, it's very good to come up with the two. And there's another reason to come up with the two, and that is that you're putting real pressure on this checker. If you want to have some fun, make this play and then pretend you're blue and you've just rolled a 5-3, 4-1, 5-1, 3-1, a 4-2, all kinds of numbers that make the bar point, 3-point, or 4-point, and still leave a direct shot at this checker right here. He's got some problems. A lot of these rolls he can't just make his 5-point or his bar point, and if he does, he's leaving you a direct shot. So that, coupled with the fact that you don't want to get primed in here, if he does roll an excellent number and make the 5-point or the bar point, is good reason to come up. Now what my student did wrong was this. He became super fearful of making these points, and this is not a bad play. As you can see, well, I took it off, so I'll go back and put it back the original so you can see exactly where that play stands. And according to the rollout, it's about a 0.053 error, about 5% error. So it's not even close to the right play. So I went through this position with my student, and I said, okay, is there a score where your play might be right? Let's change the score. Well, if you hit this little button down here and you hit Gammon Save, assuming that red is winning 2 away, 1 away Crawford, and he really wants to save Gammons, then it becomes the right play. And that's one of the few times it's the right play. And if you put in a bunch of other different scores, you'll see that if red is winning by a good margin, he's going to make that play. Now, 2-away, 4-away plays almost exactly the same as if you were playing gammon save. In fact, all of the opening rolls play like gammon save, and you're supposed to play the game pretty much like gammon save. So you can imagine if you're leading 2-away, 4-away, you would also make this point. But at other scores where you might be leading, for example, if you're leading 2-away, 5-away, let's make you 2-away, 5-away. Now it's real close because gammons aren't that costly for you, and you're not truly playing in a gammon save game. And you can see, like I said, 0.008. You really have to roll this out to be sure. In fact, it's 0.002 at plus plus. So, like I said, really close. Now, how do you really understand this? Look, that's one thing you do is to change the score. The other thing you do is change the roll, change the position. Instead of blue having an opening, let's put it back to a normal match score or money game. Instead of blue having an opening 4-3, what if you had an opening 3-1 originally, and he had a 4-3, and now this becomes a third roll move? How would you play it now? Well, now it's very close between making the 4-point and making the 3-point, or another play that you might not have thought of, and that's hitting. Why is hitting good now? Well, you've got more inner board points than your opponent. You've got an advantage in a hitting game. It's real close. And again, you'd have to roll it out. But by changing these positions slightly, by changing them to different roles or different positions, that's how you really get an understanding for what's going on with these plays. You can do all kinds of additional plays. What would you do if you had an opening 5-3 and he rolled a 4-3 and now you roll a double 2? What do you think's right now? Now the hit becomes clear. Why is the hit clear? Because when you make your 3-point, and the same thing would be true if you'd ever made your 2-point on the opening roll with a 6-4, your best game plan is to play a hitting game. Your odds of ending up with a good priming game are not that good. So you want to be hitting and racing, and making, and this hitting and coming out to here accomplishes both. So hitting is big time right after making those plays. What would you do if you had an opening 6-1 and he rolled a 4-3 and now you roll a double 2? This is the kind of exercise, this is the kind of work on variations where that Neil Kazaros was talking about getting your hands dirty and truly understanding a play. Well, again, you made this point, you've given yourself a wonderful priming game. And game plan is still your number one consideration in every move. So you've got a great priming game, so this play becomes automatic. Now what do? For the same reason we talked about before, to put pressure on this checker and to not get primed in yourself, you come up. Let me show you what our friend Extreme Gammon says. And notice when I hit plus plus, it's rolling it out 360 times with variance reduction, and it's giving you a very high level answer. But again, I want to take the top two plays and put them into plus plus, which gives you a much better answer. This was a 3-ply answer. That's what this meant. So these variations are going to help you every time. Now, what if you had rolled an opening 6-1 and instead of a 4-3, he had a 3-2 and he came to there. Now, coming up with the 2 doesn't put pressure on his outside checkers. Now what do you do with this play? You really want to play a hitting or priming game and put lots of pressure on them. A new play comes completely to mind here, making the 5-point and the 4-point, which is very close to the previous play of coming up and down. In fact, again, you'd have to roll these out to be sure, but look at the concepts and the reasons and the logic behind all these plays, and you'll get a real good feel for what's going on, and then you'll start knowing how to play double 2s on the second roll or third roll of the game. You'll start looking for the features. You won't be able to memorize every position, and don't just stop and say, oh, I should have done that. Stop and ask yourself why. Why is this play the best? And again, when they're very, very close, it's not going to be easy to come up why. I'm not sure myself I can tell you why when you have two very, very different plays that are very, very close. I can give you reasons for both, but how to come up with why one is better than the other when the difference is 0.002, I don't think too many players in the world can do a really convincing job of that and even convince themselves. So again, look at different variations. Let's say you had an opening 053 and he rolled a 3-2 and now you have a double 2. Remember, before you were hitting the checker on the 16. You don't have that luxury now. There is no checker on the 16. How would you play your double 2s now? What game plan do you think is the best game plan? How do you think you should play this game going forward? Okay, now you make the 20 point. I'm doing this all from memory. And I'm doing this because I've done this exercise a few times. I could be wrong, but you haven't seen me wrong on a play yet. And that's not because I'm a brilliant or that I have a brilliant memory. I can remember the logic of these positions. It's right to make a 20 point because you're putting tremendous pressure on both of these checkers. And you're also not doing badly in the race. You're up 11 pips after the roll, so you're advancing the race quite a bit. You're not playing the 4 point because it totally strips this point, and a priming game isn't necessarily a great game for you to be playing after you've made the 3 point. So make his 5 point. It's a good place to do this. And the right play by a pretty substantial amount. Clearly right with by 2.5%. So what I'm trying to show you is a way to teach yourself. This is called deliberate practice. Don't just look at a play and say, oh, I got this wrong, I should have done that. See if you can explain why, and if you can't, start doing variations. Start changing the score. Start changing the rolls a little bit. Change the order of the play. When you're done with this, figure out what you do with double 3 and double 1, double 4, and different double rolls on the second and third roll. Doubles are hard. You have many, many more chances to make the wrong play. You have many more options of what you can do when you roll doubles. And double 2 in particular has been my nemesis for only about the last 50 years. It's getting better, slowly getting better. But double 2s, I find there are so many ways to play it that I actually did an article in Gammon Village on a whole series of double 2s that I missed, and I've collected about maybe 200 more since then. So don't think this is easy, but it does get easier with deliberate practice with this kind of an approach. And again, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting the USBGF if you are a member. If you're not, get over there. Join the USBGF. Support the #1 organization that's really advancing this game. We're working very closely with all the other federations around the world, the folks in Denmark and Turkey and Japan and elsewhere that have federations. England's getting one started now, and we're supporting each other and working together, and we've created a great model for growth and for a lot of benefits and excitement for people who join. Look forward to seeing you in the future, and again, join, and you can look at over 100 of these videos, and many of them are by people a lot smarter than me, so there's some real good reason to watch them. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.